Welcome back. Good evening. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Everything is okay from my side, sir. Everything is fine.
Nice, nice. I'm happy to hear that. All right. So, welcome back to your session. What would you like to talk about today?
Yes, sir. I try to suggest you if you like, so we will carry on. Otherwise, you can suggest me. So we often praise, sir, the smart people, smartness, and we praise people who he give the quick answer. But it is old saying. Smart people give answer and wise people ask question. So do
Yeah.
you agree, sir?
See, this saying is very subjective, but yes, in the history books, there are a lot of examples where smart people have tried to make themselves look smart or tried to show off that they know a lot of things, whereas wise people are more interested in knowing the details of the situation to find a problem, to find how to solve that problem, right? So a smart person will look at a problem and say, "Oh yeah, this is very obvious. This is the answer." Whereas a wise person will not just see the problem as it is. He'll try to get to the bottom of it, or he'll try to understand why the problem is occurring, what can be done to avoid this problem in the future, right? So when you ask a lot of good questions, it becomes very important. It becomes very easy for you to understand the reality of the situation. It becomes very easy to try to solve it through your experience, through any other issues that you have faced in the past. I've noticed that because if you look at any great entrepreneur, any business that has been successful in history, they asked the correct questions. Okay, it's not just
Yes.
important to solve the problem in the short term. It's very important to
Hmm.
solve the problem over a long period of time to make sure that that problem doesn't happen, it doesn't reoccur.
Hmm. You mean to say, sir, smartness means we are giving the answer on the fact base and database, and intelligent and we can say the wise person, they stamp to the deep thinking. They go for deep and they try to find out the root cause of any question, any problem. So
Yes.
according to you, sir, what is the more valuable questions or answers?
See, in each situation, both of them can be very beneficial, right? But when it comes to understanding the issue at the first instance, I'll give you an example. If I come to you and I say that I'm having an issue with something, right? It is important for you to know everything about the problem to give a solution, right? So I'll give you an example. I'll say, hey, there's a problem with my car. I'm not able to fix it. There's a problem with the computer system in my car. Okay, a smart person will say, "Oh yeah, I know this guy who owns a garage. Here, take his number and go get the car fixed." All right. But a wise person will ask, "Okay, how old is the car? How many times has this issue happened? Right?
Hmm.
Do you feel like if you repair this car, um, it will give you a lot of sort of lives? How do I explain
Hmm.
this? Like shelf life, basically. It's not like
Yeah.
if you fix the car, there are going to be many, many more problems. So if I tell you the car is 15 years old,
Hmm.
a wise person will ask questions and try to understand if it's more beneficial to sell the car now that it's in a decent condition, and buy a new car, invest in a new car, right? But a smart person will just say, "Oh, fix it." But they don't know if I've
Hmm.
already fixed it 10 times. What if I'm spending
Hmm.
2 or 3 lakhs just to maintain the car every year, right? That means over the next 4 or 5 years, I spend 10 lakhs anyways, right? So
Hmm.
it just makes more sense for me to sell the car in that instance and to buy
Hmm.
another car for like 4 or 5 lakhs, even if it is on loan, because when I get the new car, the maintenance cost will be relatively lower. I'm not even considering the cost of petrol, the cost of tolls and taxes, all of that. So it's good to be smart, but it's much better to be wise and understand the problem, understand the root cause of what we're trying to solve. Right?
Hmm. Yes, yes, sir. I have read somewhere, sir. Einstein also gave same kind of the answer when he was asked, "Oh, what is the more valuable?" So he told that time because I will take the more time to asking the question, and if I get the exact question, I would solve within the 5 minutes any problem, any the toughest problem. So in that manner, we can say if we ask a question frequently and try to find out the root cause of any problem and we try to get the more knowledge. So in that situation, we should ask the question.
Definitely, yes. And having all the information before making a
Mm,
decision is very important, right? When you are buying a house, when you are buying a car, you don't just go to the salesman and ask him, "Oh, what color is available or how much is the cost," right? You want to know other things. In terms of a
mm,
house, you want to know how close it is to a hospital. You would like to know how far it is from the highway or from a train station or from an airport. right? Then you
mm,
will understand how the financing works, how much money you have to pay if you're taking a loan, what are the installments going to be like, when are you going to get possession of the house. So you need to have all the information before you can make that decision. A lot of people are sometimes in a rush, but again, they're in a rush when it comes to smaller decisions, like buying a phone. Maybe they'll only check how much memory is there or how fast the phone is, and then they'll purchase it because that amount, the cost of that phone, even if it doesn't work out, it's not that much of a problem. It will still function. The phone is still function. Right? So asking
mm,
good questions will always get you clarity. Will always put perspective into your mind about yes, I want to do
mm,
this as compared to the other option.
yes. So we can say, sir, no, asking question and to be wise, uh, to get to know some emotion, get to the knowledge about the emotionally, we will become emotionally strong and deep thinker, and we can say the problem solver and leader, we can say new creator. So it is necessary, sir. If no God offered you, you have to choose only one, the smartness and no wisdom, so what would you choose? Because in nowadays smartness is also have a stigma. People try to cheat another one and they called, oh, I am so called smart. So it is also no stuck a stigma with the smartness. So
Mhm.
I never prefer to choose. Before asking you question, I share my opinion. I never prefer to choose any smartness. I would choose to be wise, deep thinking, and to become a better person, better version. Asking the question, and before giving the verdict, I would love to ask many questions. So, in no that manner, what would you choose, sir? If God offer you,
See, wisdom is the obvious answer, because I personally believe that when it comes to knowing things or knowing how to handle things, right, the most important thing is not having all the answers. It is to understand how to get to the answer. Okay.
hmm,
Like let's say you are the CEO of a very big company like Amazon, Apple, something like that. You don't need to know everything about the world to function in that company. You just need to know how to get to the answer, who to hire, what problem needs to be solved, what tools are you using to solve the problem, right? These two or three things are very important when it comes to
hmm,
figuring something out. Even if it is not a problem, even if it is a new project or new business that you're starting, right? Smartness, in the terms that you are mentioning, I think it has more to do with how you present yourself, how you talk to get the most out of the situation or to get your way in a situation, right? And you also mentioned the cheating. So when it comes to cheating in a business or cheating in life, uh, history suggests that cheaters don't prosper. You may have
hmm,
some short-term advantage, but in the long term, it will always hurt you, right?
hmm,
So I would choose wisdom because I would like to have a mind that is able to
hmm.
solve problems, is able to get to the answer as quickly as possible, right? So, I mean, if God offered me an option, I would choose wisdom.
Yes, sir. So, can you draw a line, sir, between smartness and wisdom in two to three words? Oh, this is the smartness and this is the wisdom.
Um, I would say smartness has to do with a little bit of overconfidence, right?
Hmm,
When someone is smart and they know they're smart, it becomes like they have some arrogance that, hey, I'm smarter
hmm,
than you, right? When it comes to wisdom, wisdom is always humble. Wisdom is always listening to other people to understand what is going on, right? So
hmm,
people who are wise, they're good listeners. They ask good questions. They have a lot of patience, right?
hmm,
Um, and obviously, they look at the world from a different perspective. So thinking outside the box, I would say. So I think these are some words that will
hmm.
differentiate the two traits.
Sir, I would like to add some here. I observe smart people indulge always in argument and wise people avoid argument. And smart people always present fact. Oh, I have read, this is the data. And wise people know they don't believe in data. They believe what is the other side, flip side of the any problem and anything we can say. And smart people, we can say they have brain power. And can we say the wise people have some, sir, emotional and mental strength?
Yeah, see, wisdom is something that can only be acquired through
Wisdom
years of
can
experience.
be same, sir. I think that from life experience.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yes. So wisdom comes through a lot of problems that you have faced in your life
Mm,
experiences, a lot of trouble that you face in your life, whether it's financial, emotional, psychological, it could be any of those. So
mm,
I would suggest that wisdom is also categorized in a lot of ways, because you can be wise in terms of how to judge a human being, how to judge new partners, new employees, because you've had experience of working in companies where people have cheated
Mm,
you, they have committed some sort of fraud in a way. But
mm,
it's possible that you're very wise in terms of judging a person or a person's character, but then you're not wise in making financial decisions, because even though you've done a lot of jobs in the past where you figured out a lot of people who are not good for you, or maybe you should avoid talking to them, you may not have
mm,
mastered how to financially structure your life to get the most out of it. Yeah. So
mm,
when it comes to wisdom, very rarely you find a person who's good at everything. Yeah.
mm,
You have these people in your life who are financially amazing. They're like, they can take an international vacation every year because they know how to handle business. But then when you go to talk to them, you realize he can't even have a proper conversation with you, either because he's too engrossed in his work, or he doesn't have the time to give to his family or friends. So I think that balance is always tilted on one side where the mastery is. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of movies where somebody is an amazing expert or a genius at something, at one particular thing, but then they always lack something very important, like social skills. Even
mm,
in India, this happens. People who work in IT, people who work in very intense fields where they have to put in like 10, 12 hours a day. They're really good at their job. They're really good at the tasks that they do. But then they are not good at the socializing part, where they can't,
mm,
either they don't have time to catch up with friends, or they don't have the skills to make new friends or to have social events in public or whatever it is. So that's exactly why clapping was there, because a lot of people come here to get that sort of personality upgrade, because they want to be confident, they want to be comfortable speaking English to new people or to new friends, right?
mm. Yes, sir. So in some summary, we can say, sir, asking question always be valuable if we want to go deep thinking, and if we want to, we want to a way find out for lead society, and if we want to a game changer person, so it's a necessary to be asked question. There is a no need to stop. Oh, I know all. I have all data. I have all facts. I know everything, and we
Right.
always open a window for the questions for the uh, other person's perspective. If we try to get to know what is the other person think about the situation, so I think it would be better for any person. So sir, I think I have done from my side. If you want to any questions, so you can ask me.
Okay. So just a small correction. Wisdom is not about asking a lot of questions. Wisdom is about asking the right questions. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
I
yeah,
agree.
just because, okay, let's say you come up with a problem and you come and ask
Mhm.
me for my help. Wisdom is not asking 20 questions. Wisdom is asking three or four questions that get to the heart of the problem. I'll give you an example.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know if people are going to hate me for this, but I have a friend who is having these relationship problems with his partner. Okay.
Mm,
So whenever he comes to the friend group and he says that, hey, my partner is being unreasonable, they're asking for so many things, they're asking to spend time with me, but I have work. I want to make sure that I build the business so we can have a future together. Right. In this case, none of the parties are wrong. Both of them have valid requests, valid I wouldn't say demands, but you get my point. They're asking for the right thing, right? Because
mm,
one partner wants to spend more time with their loved one, and the other partner wants to invest this time to grow the business so that they can have a secure future, right? So a wise person, a smart person may ask 20 questions. Okay, well, how many times do you guys meet? How much money are you making by staying away from her, right? Or can you take an extra day off from work on Saturday so you guys can spend time, you guys can go on trips or whatever, right? But a wise person will ask the right questions. They'll say, okay, are you spending more time at work because you're frustrated with how they communicate? Right?
mm.
Because a lot of people, they don't have a problem with the demand. They have a problem with how their partner communicates that demand.
Yes, the way we can say,
Yeah,
sir.
exactly. The way there's a nice way of doing it, and there is a rude
Mm,
way of doing it. You
mm,
don't, you should not taunt or you should not scream at someone when you are communicating that you need something in a relationship, right?
mm,
So a wise person will ask, is there a communication barrier? Because both of you
mm,
know what you want, but it's still not happening, right? And it's
mm,
not something unreasonable. It's not like, oh, let's move to Australia today. Like, it's not something completely unreasonable, right? So a wise person will try to understand and try to read between the lines. What is the actual issue? Why are
mm,
they not getting through, right? Because you have to understand when your friend comes up to you and tells you the problem is there, he or she, they will say it in such a way that it benefits them, right? I'll give you an
yeah.
example. Like when two brothers are fighting in a family. Okay? One of the brothers goes to the parent and says, "Oh, that person hit me." right? The other brother has hit me. You have to remember as a parent that this kid is not telling you the whole story. You
Mm,
can tell me that okay, my younger brother hit me, but what did you do first? Clearly, you did something. That's why he hit you, right?
yes, sir.
Similarly, in all situations in life, you have to understand when someone tells you something, it cannot be 100% true. Okay? When it
Mm,
comes to our Katamo sessions, I have told a lot of tutors the same thing. That just because a person comes and tells you they're facing this problem doesn't mean they have that problem. Okay. When they
mm,
tell you they have that problem, you should test for it anyway. Okay. So now imagine a doctor. Okay. You go to the doctor and you tell the doctor, oh, I'm getting a headache. Right. So the doctor can give you medication for the headache just to get rid of it. But a good doctor will ask you, okay, how is your sitting posture when you're at work? Are you working out? Are you doing back exercises? Because the doctor
mm,
knows that the headache is happening because you're not taking care of your spine. So the real problem is not the head. Right.
yes, sir.
This is just a problem. This is a symptom of a bigger problem. So
Mm,
a good doctor will try to understand the history. Excuse me. They will try to understand the history. They will try to understand what the actual problem is. Then the good doctor
mm,
will tell you that you should sit straight. When you wake up in the morning, do some stretches, with your arms, sort of,
mm,
move your body around so your spine feels relieved. There's no pressure on your spine, right? So just because someone is telling you something, it does not mean it's 100% true. All right. And
mm.
I'm not saying this because people have bad intentions. People don't know how to communicate. That is one major
Yes.
problem. Okay.
Yes, communication we can say, sir, without communication, we can say create, if there is a communication gap, so it will cause and it will stem a problem. But asking question, I think the always solving the problem, sir. Just you gave the example of the doctor. A patient just go to the doctor and doctor try to ask question. That time patient feel relaxed whether the medicine will work or not. They normally and their psychology give some indication, oh, I will get well soon. But if doctor in a straightforward is some right medicines, and so it is automatically no they create their mindset, oh, the doctor no didn't ask anything me, and how can they get to know about my problem? Maybe
Yeah,
the
exactly.
specialist, but asking question and communication between doctor and patient is important. And
Definitely, yes.
when we ask a question, it lead to the communication in a flow.
Yep, that's true.
Yes. And every invention, I think, that start with question.
Yep, definitely. Yes, you're right.
Mm. And when if we have a problem with our companion, our spouse, so when we start questioning, so might we get to know about the root? What is maybe the question sometimes wrong? We ask in a wrong way, sir. But
Yeah.
definitely we try to understand intention behind the
Oh,
question.
sorry.
No problem. So
Water
in
fell.
that in itself, can we say, sir, we should ask right question, but question lead to go a good communication, a flow communications, and to better understanding. Question is necessary.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. I'm glad we had this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. You explained with so many examples in well manner. It's my
I
privilege
think
with
I think
you.
there were too many examples. It became confusing.
Example is necessary, sir. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you. I'm
you.
glad to hear that.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you so
Have a
much.
good
It was lovely meeting you. Thank you for the conversation, and I hope I'll see you soon.